James Gunn's reshuffle of the DC Universe has yet to reveal a verdict on all the actors and characters, including Ezra Miller's Flash. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. Miller is most likely out of the role after the disastrous standalone movie, but Gunn has a greater challenge in finding his new Flash actor. Gunn would have to find someone who could beat Grant Gustin as the best speedster in DC. Grant Gustin's Flash is so etched into people's minds that James Gunn must beat Zack Snyder in finding a great speedster for DCU. Not all choices made by Zack Snyder worked great for the DCU in its decade-long run. Even Snyder cultists find it hard to root for Ezra Miller as the Flash. It is because they've seen the CW series, The Flash, which portrayed a much better superhero with Grant Gustin's performance. Gustin played Barry Allen for 9 impressive seasons of the CW series, The Flash, which concluded in May 2023. For most of its run, the series garnered positive feedback from the viewers, who praised the lead actor and the entire Team Flash for their performances. Fans also shared that Gustin carried the role in the series on his shoulders even when some of the writing and CGI works failed to impress. Some of the fan reactions read, Gustin's role lasted 9 seasons from 2014 to 2023, a long time for even a non-DC fan to eventually view him as synonymous with the Flash. Upon its debut in 2014, it became the CW's second most watched pilot with 4.83 million American viewers, via TV Line. It's hard to overlook Gustin in the new DCU role when the studio chief himself shared that the actor is an incredibly talented guy. Responding to a fan query on Threads, James Gunn shared that Gustin's talent was not going to waste just because he's out of DC. The Suicide Squad director added that he'd love to work with him at some point. There was not much debate when the question appeared on X whether the puppy love actor was a better choice than Miller. Fans shared that it was one of the things that every DC fan agreed on. Some believed that he should have been in the Flash movie, while others shared that he should have been brought in for a multiversal role in the film. Grant Gustin went through 16 hours of tiring work per shoot day when working on the Flash. He revealed to Men's Health that he was relieved at some level that the show was over after a decade. However, Gustin shared that he is still interested in returning to the role, provided James Gunn wants him for it. He shared with Men's Health. During an interview with Access Hollywood, Gustin shared that he dived deep into the world of DC Comics to research the role even before landing the part. He primarily focused on the New 52 series, which he knew was the closest to his show. In his return texts, Gunn appreciated the actor's talent and shared that he'd love to work with him someday. Gustin shared, I don't know if he was already following me or not, but I just met him and said, I can't wait to see what you do with that. So he just hit me back up and then, yeah, he said he thought I was talented and said that he'd love to work with me someday, which is a very general nice thing to say. Gunn is currently working on David Corenswet's Superman and is yet to announce many of the DC's main superhero casting, including Batman. Look, there are no doors right now that are slammed shut for me in any capacity. And that's why I said what I said about James Gunn. I love the Guardians movies, I love what he's done, but the soundbite that's getting picked up everywhere. Earlier this year, reports emerged that Gustin and Gunn had shared DMs. Gustin expanded on his conversation with the DC co-CEO, sharing that it was he who texted the director and said to him that he was excited to see what Gunn had planned for DCU. Zack Snyder adapted Frank Miller's historically inaccurate comic book tale of the Battle of Thermopylae to give fans a great David vs. Goliath war story in 300. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. Gerard Butler's Leonidas led an army of 300 soldiers to face off against the 300,000 soldiers of the Persian god King Xerxes in the film. It appears that Warner Brothers has invited Snyder back to explore more of the 300 universe. Zack Snyder is excited to dive into the 300 prequel series, sharing that he had fun during the preliminary discussions with WB. Towards the end of May, Variety reported that a 300 TV series was in early development at Warner Brothers Television. The report suggested that Zack Snyder would be brought back for a prequel project, but suggested that no writer or platform was attached to the project. In August, Snyder confirmed the reports to THR, sharing that he was excited about the project. The Man of Steel director provided his latest update on the film, sharing that he is ready to dive into the film very soon. Snyder co-wrote the screenplay for a 300 sequel in 2014, which did not impress the audience as much as the original. Fans are ready for the next Game of Thrones-like television tale from Snyder. Zack Snyder talked about a potential 300 TV series plot with podcast host Joe Rogan. Appearing on the Joe Rogan Experience earlier this year, Snyder shared the possibility of adding more gay stuff if he were to do more in the 300 universe. He shared that he only made what Frank Miller had written in his comics in the movies. When asked if the current regime at WB is trying to mend fences, Snyder shared that he hadn't thought about it. Earlier, Snyder parted ways with WB on a bad note after creative differences during his film, Justice League. Snyder shared that they were both into this fun streaming concept surrounding 300. He also added that he liked the current team of WB execs. Snyder told THR, "We were excited, and they seemed excited to work on what we would all consider classic IP at this point. It's a fun streaming concept that I think everybody is into, but I don't think it's some kind of, 'I like those guys over there.' It's all cool." Fans have a very recent update from Snyder regarding this prequel series. During the premiere of his Netflix anime series Twilight of the Gods, Snyder shared that his 300 TV series is very similar to this anime series, but in a weird way. Speaking to Comic Book, Snyder shared that he was getting ready to dive in and get to work. He shared that the discussions in the preliminary meeting for the series were fun. He shared with Comic Book, "We're just getting ready to dive in and get to work on it. It's super fun, I love the world. And even just in the preliminary meetings we've been talking about, like, what if this happened or that happened, just a lot of it's just really fun to like go, wow, it's a rich standard. It's similar to this, Twilight of the Gods, in a weird way. As far as there's a lot of underpinnings." Fans expect 300 TV series to follow the likes of Emilia Clarke's Game of Thrones and Hiroyuki Sanada's Shogun. The team behind the movie will likely return to the series project, including Deborah Snyder, who served as the executive producer of the film. However, he felt it was important to introduce the homosexual concepts in the series. Snyder promised a subversive twist if he ever got to do the series. He shared with Joe Rogan, "And we've been talking about doing a series where I really wanted to introduce those concepts a lot more because I just feel like it's important. If we go forward and do more in the 300 universe, I would want to bring that part in. I think it just shakes it up again. Like, what? Right when you thought you knew how to feel, I'm going to make you feel another way." Snyder also addressed the accusations of homophobia in his film 300. In one particular scene, Leonidas says the line, "philosophers and boy lovers," in a derogatory manner. Snyder defended the movie, sharing that while the Spartan's comment might be derogatory, Leonidas could be a lover of men, according to the reality of the culture. The WIT Studio anime that's tailor-made for a Zack Snyder live-action trilogy. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. It is coming to Hollywood's attention just how well live-action adaptations can be made and how profitable they are if they are done right. The Last of Us, One Piece, Rurouni Kenshin, and Alita: Battle Angel are only